Wow, this movie surprised me. Warrior is a sports drama that tells the story of these two brothers, Tommy and Brendan Conlon, played by Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton, who will both enlist in this MMA tournament called Sparta, and they have their ex-alcoholic, now sober father, played by Nick Nolte, who tore apart the family before, and now he's trying to weave his way back into his son's lives. Honestly, when you've seen the trailer for Warrior, it really promotes itself as a kind of a cliched sports drama, which it only actually mildly is in the trailer, which I gotta say, this is one of the best sports dramas I've seen in years. The movie has a huge benefit from the fantastic performances by the trio of Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, and Nick Nolte. Tom Hardy is this big ball of emotion that is just ready to let loose at any time, in which he can be just calm and unnerving at 1 second, but he just lets out all the fury that his character has onto the ring, and it packs into some very great emotional intensity when you finally see it on screen. I'm beginning to love Tom Hardy in just about anything he stars in. I really want to see Bronson, which I still unfortunately haven't yet, but judging from Inception, this, and several other movies I've seen of his, God, this guy is such a dynamite on screen because he is able to convey so many different emotions at once on his face. Joel Edgerton is also particularly great in his role because he doesn't usually get a lot of due credit for the movies that he stars in, because a lot of the movies that he's done before, he's very much on the side of the supporting characters, especially in films like Animal Kingdom, and I think if I remember he was also in The Square and in Smoking Aces, one of my favorite guilty pleasures, and this movie really gives him the benefit to show off his full acting potential because he has a lead role for this time around, and he does a great job also nailing down the great emotional intensity that is built up inside his character, and the way he lets it out on the ring just as exceptional as Hardy does. But out of the three, Nick Nolte is superb as the ex-alcoholic father. Usually when you see a performance of Nolte's these days, it's kind of been that Harrison Ford-esque grumpy shtick in which his character is kind of one note in its characterization, but here he really turns up the emotional factor, and when he finally lets loose in one scene in a hotel with Tom Hardy by his side, it is fantastic, and it really captures the huge emotional intensity build-up that he brought along not only on himself but also for the brothers as well, and he just nails down the scene so well. It was one of the most powerfully acted scenes that I've seen this year. Not only benefiting from great performances, Gavin O'Connor's direction is fantastic. The guy really knows how to treat a sport with such immense respect and also bring out very raw and realistic performances from his actors, just like he did with Miracle, which is one of my favorite sports movies of all time. Forget Pride and Glory and push that to the side because that was a disappointment, but his real talent lies in making sports movies, because this is one of the very first MMA movies out that not only treats the sport with such respect, but it also encompasses the culture of it as well, like the toughest fighters, the underdog, the guy who simply can't be beat. It just puts all of them together, and it's all just directed so well by him. And he is able to bring out the very raw emotional intensity out of scenes that lie outside the ring as well, because he really knows how to follow along characters that have rough backgrounds or in the deep, and he just plays it in such a realistic and raw way that it is very relatable to anyone that sees the film. And even the fight sequences are filmed so well. They're filmed in that handheld style most of the time, but it's to really capture you the true grit feeling of being on the ring with them, because there's even a shot in this movie during one of the fights that's kind of like a hit cam, in which the person's just punching the camera just like that, and you literally feel like as an audience member that you're fully encompassed within the fight at the same time, which really adds on to the theatrical experience. I'll admit, during several of the scenes during the Sparta tournament, I was on the edge of my seat because of how tense they got, and if a movie can do that, especially a sports drama itself, that works perfectly for me. The only nitpick I really have with this film is that it follows a familiar setup that we've seen in other sports dramas, but the way that Gavin O'Connor just sets it up and lets it play out, especially capturing the true spirit of mixed martial arts too, within the commentating, the cage fight, and even real moves being discussed and used at the same time, and the fantastic performances by the three lead actors, it is just a truly great sports drama. One of the best that I've seen in years, and definitely one of the most emotionally intense ones as well. I'm going to give Warrior an extremely strong 4.5 out of 5 stars. So I hope you enjoyed my earlier review of Warrior. Stay tuned later this this week where I'll be reviewing Contagion, and if I don't get an early screening for that, I'm going to give you guys a very special review of Drive that I saw at Comic-Con, because I've had so many requests lately to review that film, so maybe it will finally happen this week. If not, next week on Monday for sure. So in the meantime, I'm Tyler from Cali Critic Reviews, and I'll see you guys later.